Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on 4 trailers: Migration, Dark Windows, What's My Name Again, and Dogman. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 11, soon to be 12, at Amazon.com. Okay, so Migration is a cute little illumination cartoon about ducks migrating, and they end up going the wrong way. They're supposed to go to Jamaica, and they end up in New York. It's family. It's very a family movie because it's a family unit, husband, wife, and their 2 kids. And so it seems harmless. There's a weird theme in it though of the I guess the grandfather's in it too. I think this is the grandfather of the wife egging on her husband because he doesn't want to see the world. So weird flex, like you would think ducks migrate every year. So it's weird, but it seems fine. So they end up lost. They end up going to New York because I think the father goes the wrong way, leads them astray, where they see Duck L'Orange and they meet other birds, and the little duck doesn't want to go poop in the sky and all sorts of cute things like that. So it looks fine. I would say first act, they're living an idyllic life and everybody's going to migrate, and the wife wants to go and the husband doesn't. But eventually things are getting colder, and I guess he agrees to go. I don't know. You're telling me these ducks never migrated? It's in Christmas, by the way. So they decide to go. Here's the whole family. And they end up in second act. They end up in New York. They're totally lost. They meet other birds that try to show them the way to Jamaica. They probably end up in Jamaica, New York. And more hijinks. Eventually, I guess they finally find themselves back down south. Maybe the theme of the movie is, home is wherever you're at, or home is the best place kind of thing. All right, Joan. All right, I'll let you down. Joan didn't want to do videos. There you go. She's back in her bed. It seems harmless. I'm not particularly enthralled by it, but I like there's a family unit as the main characters. Next up is Dark Windows. Kind of an odd movie about a group of friends. They decide to go on vacation when their friend dies. I'm not sure how she was killed. Maybe it was some innocuous way. So they all go on to a house out in the middle of nowhere where they're stalked by a brutal killer who tries to kill them. And I'm not sure why. Is it her? Is that the big shocker at the end? I don't know why it's called Dark Windows, other than there's a house and there's windows and it's probably dark because the power goes out. It seems to be 2 girls and a guy, and the killer. Seems pretty standard. August 18th in theaters and on demand. I would say that's probably mostly on demand. Let's see. Directed by Alex Heron. I remember that name. Why do I remember that name? And written by Wolf Craft. Looks like a standard by the numbers slasher. Looks fine, I guess. Feel like slasher movies. Little low budget. No write-up on it. Was there a write-up on the Duck movie? I don't think there was. Oh, there was. I forgot to read that one. This holiday season, Illumination, creators of the blockbuster Minions, Despicable Me, Sing, I don't think that was a blockbuster, The Secret Life of Pets comedies invite you to take flight in the thrill of the unknown with a funny, feathered family vacation like no other, an action-packed new origin comedy, Migration. The Mallard family is a bit in a rut, while Dad Mac is content to keep his family safe, paddling around their New England pond forever. Well, then they went south if they end up in New York. Mom Pam is eager to shake things up and show the kids, teen son Dax and duckling daughter Gwen, the whole wide world after After a migrating duck family alights on their pond with thrilling tales of far-flung places, Pam persuades Mac to embark on a family trip via New York City to tropical Jamaica. Oh, okay, so they're heading in the right direction. As the Mallards make their way south for the winter, their well-laid plans quickly go awry. The experience will inspire them to expand their horizons, open themselves up to new friends, and accomplish more than they ever thought possible, while teaching them more about each other and themselves than they ever imagined. From a screenplay by Mike White, the Emmy-winning creator of The White Lotus and the screenwriter of School of Rock. I like that. The film stars a top-flight comedic cast led by Oscar and Emmy nominee Kumail Nanjiani. Really? The Big Sick and Eternals. I mean, he was nominated for an Oscar for what? I mean, Emmys, who cares? But an Oscar, really? As anxious Mallard dad Mac, Emmy nominee Elizabeth Banks, Hunger Games, Pitch Perfect franchises as Pam, the Mallards' daring, quick-witted matriarch. Sounds like the mom is the smart one and dad's like a dopey dad, but Casper Jennings plays Dax, the Mallards' confident, restless son in her future film debut. And Tracy Gazai plays Gwen, the family's innocent, lovable daughter. I thought we were supposed to only play people in cartoons that resembled us. So you got, it's okay when a female voices a male, but it's not okay when it's the other way around. It's not okay to change races. Hollywood is so damn weird. Oh God, Aquafina's in it. Voices Scrappy, leader of the New York City Pigeon Gang. Carol Kane plays Erin the Heron. Okay. That's kind of cool. I like Carol Kane. She should be in the whole damn movie. Keegan-Michael Key voices a homesick Jamaican parrot locked away in a Manhattan restaurant. Oh, I hope they free him. Dave Mitchell from Peep Show's in it. Okay. Danny DeVito's in it. He's the adventure reverse Uncle Dan. Interesting. Directed by Benjamin Renner. Oscar-nominated filmmaker of Ernest and Celestine and The Big Bad Fox and Other Tales. I'm a bit on the fence. I can't stand Kumanji, whatever the hell his name is. He's kind of annoying. Elizabeth Banks, kind of back and forth with her, mostly off her for various reasons. I do like Carol Kane and Michael Key. Keegan-Michael Key and the Peep Show guy. I don't know, man. Maybe. I wouldn't say it. It's a kid's movie. Anyhow, Dark Windows, pretty much by the numbers. Moving on to What's My Name Again. It's a weird plot. It takes place in 1985, and it's about a surfer who's turning 18, and he has to pick his last name from one of his fathers. I guess it's one of these weird, quirky family movies. I guess he has a biological dad, and then his mother is, I guess she's married to a dude or dating a dude, or dated a bunch of dudes, and now he gets to pick which last name. It's so weird. Was it just an excuse to use this song name in the title of a movie? It doesn't look like a very 80s movie to me, but, and I don't even think What's My Name Again, that wasn't an 80s song, was it? Wasn't that the 90s? I don't know. It's a coming-of-age movie. I gotta say, it kind of looks like nothing. But let's see. We got to write up. 1985, a seemingly quintessential Southern California teen's identity unravels as he's forced to choose one of his three fathers' last names before he comes of age. Okay, first act, he's living his life. And then for some, I guess he doesn't have a last name, or he has one, and then he's doing some kind of swimming meet or whatever, and he can change his name or pick his name at 18, and his mother's letting him do that for some reason, instead of just picking one for him, like an adult would do. So the second act, he has to celebrate his birthday, and his various father figures come over, and I guess I don't know. I can't relate to this movie at all. And 1985 seems way too early for this nonsense, but it does take place in California. But okay. And then the third act, I guess he picks a name. Probably doesn't pick any of them to strike out on his own. I don't know. It's a coming of age thing. Confusing. And finally, Dogman, which feels a little bit like the Joker Part 2 or one of the Joker's henchmen. But anyway, it's about a guy who was abused as a kid, and then he grows up. He ends up, I guess, a drag queen? I'm not sure. He dresses up in makeup during the movie. And he has, his only friends are dogs. He lives in an abandoned building. Some criminals come after him, and he booby traps the whole place and kills them one by one for some reason. Doesn't really explain in the movie why. He seems to be totally insane. I think this movie is a flashback movie where it starts out he's already caught, and then in flashback he explains how he killed everybody in drag. Looks a little dark. Looks very much like a the Joker type movie, except with dogs. And he kills a bunch of dudes who are abusive to the dogs. So first act opens up with him already caught, and maybe he's going away for a long time, or he's being psychoanalyzed, and he's smoking a lot for some reason. And they let him smoke, and he tells his story, and goes back to the past, and tells about the abuse he suffered as a little kid. Was he gay then? I don't know. I don't know if he's gay now or if he's just weird. Then eventually it cuts to him as an adult, so the adult actor can play him. That's in the second act. He lives in a abandoned building, takes care of dogs, guess makes money as a drag queen, and then I'm gonna guess some gangster kills one of his dogs, and he gets revenge on them. And maybe he kills the first gangster, and then the other gangsters suspect foul play around his area, and then go, and then eventually they discover it's him, and then come to the building, and then the third act is this big scene where he kills like all the gangsters because he's got the whole place booby trapped, and then eventually he gets caught, I guess. And then we come to the present day, and then it's about, I don't know, will he get out, or does he regret what he did? Feels a lot like the Joker. Okay, so we got 4 movies here. So, the Migration movie, pretty standard family movie. I kind of like it. It seems high quality. I'd watch it, I guess. The Dark Windows seems like your standard slasher movie. I didn't do the 3-act breakdown, but first act, they set up all the characters. They've got their friend is dead, and they go away to a creepy house. Second act, the house is creepy, and they don't care at first, but slowly it gets creepier. Then the lights go out, and they're stalked by an evil killer. All the way through the second act. Third act, they turn the tables on the killer and kill him. Or they all die. I mean, it's an independent movie. It has potential, but the trailer is kind of blah. Third one, what's my name again? Man, I just can't relate to this movie at all. Seems like a very weak premise. Not sure what's going on. Why, I mean, it looks like it has potential in the fun characters and relatives, but it's so off the wall in terms of a premise. I can't relate to it, so not sure that the comedy's really going to work with such an offbeat premise. Because you're going to have to work really hard to ground it. It's like your comedies have been so weak coming out of Hollywood recently. It seems overly ambitious to hobble yourself with such a clunky premise and then try to make it funny. So that to me is the weakest of the 4. And then Dogman, which basically feels like it would be a decent movie, but feels very much like the Joker. So how would I rate these? Well, I'd have to put What's My Name Again on the bottom. I I just don't think it could work. I mean, maybe, and really, it's a kind of a tie with Dark Windows. The trailer's so Spartan. It could be good. It could be better than advertised, but and it is very by the numbers. But the fact that it's by the numbers, at least I would kind of be like, okay, that was a movie. Whereas, what's my name again? Just looks like it's going to be struggling to make me laugh. So I would put these two both at the bottom, and then the choices between the Duck movie Migration and Dog Man. Wow. I guess I would have to give it to Migration, because put Dogman second, because at least Migration seems to be trying to do some original stuff. Even though some of the cast looks like they would really annoy me, maybe they're following the script and just doing their job and not inserting their political stuff in this. The Gru movies seem to be non-political, seem to do well. So I'm going to guess Illumination is still heading down that track and just doing regular movies. Seems like a good family movie. I don't have kids and I don't have a reason to really go see the movie, but I'd probably see Dogman before I'd see this if I wanted to go see one of these movies. But if this was on a streaming platform, I might see it. It's I think it'd be fine for kids. I think Dogman will probably be a little more up my alley, but it seems too much like the Joker, and it seems like they made the main character a drag queen for no reason. Doesn't seem to really go with dogs. Seems like if you're gonna do a movie called Dog Man about a guy who identifies with dogs, he'd be like really grungy, right? He'd be like a dog. He'd just smell awful, right? Because dogs love crazy smells. And he'd just be that would be the main thing. He'd just be filthy. Wouldn't be a drag queen. Like, dogs and drag queens, I don't know how that jives, quite frankly, thematically. But I do kind of like this, but I don't know. It's kind of up my alley because it's a vigilante movie, but at the same time, it seems a little off kilter. But I don't know. Maybe it's good. I don't know. It's a lot of movies that I'm not too excited about. But there you have it. 4 movies. Maybe one of them's good. Out of that, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff coming out of Hollywood. I set up 4 different movies like 3 days ago, but I didn't have time to do the video, so I don't know where those trailers are. They're already out of the search queue. I mean, they just crank out so much stuff, don't they? One of these days I'm going to do 10. I'm going to do a video with 10 of these. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Barky Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for a more bass takes. If you can find a more bass take, I say take it. I will be tomorrow night at the night market in Laurel Springs, New Jersey. I think it's called a Maker's Market or something or other. It's from 6 to 8. It's right in the middle of town. So if you're local, come on by. On Thursday, I'll be at the Greenwich Library at 7 p.m. for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. I'll be in Whitesbog on Saturday for their event, unless they get rained out, and then it'll be on Sunday. Don't forget to check out Clownfish TV for my recent column. Comic-Con 101, the 20 best reasons to love the fandom. And also tonight I did a little bit of an interview over at Cruisin' 92.1, Vineland radio station. And I'll be back there for some other interviews in the not too distant future. So if you want to check that out, it happened at 9 p.m. It was a show on 9 p.m. And today is Tuesday. All right. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.